Wait, a couple. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Prep Life Podcast. This is your founder and CEO of Glam Girl Bikini, Amy Enger. And today I'm joined by my fabulous co host, Lee Marie Hastetter. Hey, Lee.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm so good. I just have to show off my brand new mug that I just got from Facebook.
Ooh, that's so nice. Love
Every
it. So
once
if
in a
you're
while,
watching
they
on
have like
YouTube,
free. Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, if you order from First Form, they will every once in a while throw in cool free presents. And I got a cool new coffee mug. So thanks, First Form. Shout
love
out.
it. So today we're going to be talking all things skin health. And because the skin is the largest organ in the body, it actually weighs about 8 pounds, which is crazy to me. Uh, there's so much involved, and we've never done an episode on skin health. Like in the entirety of this podcast, I've never done one on it. And I've talked about like briefly like some of the treatments that I've gotten postpartum, like pregnancy ones that help with the stomach. And I mean, there's a ton of things that you can do for your face, whether it's because you have diet face. Um, you know, different areas. Like some people have issues with the back of their legs when they've had significant weight loss. And in a contest prep, skin is such an important factor, and it's actually part of the judging criteria. So I'm surprised we haven't talked about this. So do you want to explain the importance from just like the NPC standpoint on that? And then we can kind of talk about like the function and some ways to keep our skin healthy, especially as competitors. So.
Yes. So I just remember you mentioning something about skin health being a factor in judging criteria. And I never really got into that. So when we decided to do this episode, I had to kind of do a deep dive into why skin health actually matters from a judging standpoint in bodybuilding. And from what I can see, it falls under the overall presentation, which is a specific criteria that the judge that you are judged on while competing on stage. And so what they want to see is an even and smooth skin tone, looking for polished appearance. Competitors should avoid blemishes, scars, or an uneven skin tone that could distract from their physique. It also helps with proper tanning, which is something that they look for. So a well-applied tan that enhances muscle definition and symmetry. And you want to avoid streaky, overly dark, or patchy tans that can result in getting a lower score. Skin
Mhm.
tightness. So this is something that they look for. And while genetics do play a role in this, it says judges tend to favor competitors with firm, tight skin as it enhances muscle definition and overall aesthetic. And then hydration and glow. Healthy, hydrated skin looks more vibrant under stage lights. Dry or flaky skin can dull the overall look. So it falls under overall presentation, but it is something that can drastically affect how you look. And especially with bikini, they are looking for all of the, muscle conditioning, all of that shape, but your overall appearance and having that X factor is just something that there's so much that goes into it. While maybe them judging your actual skin is not on the sheet, it's going to play a factor, definitely.
Yeah, and speaking of a person that is a judge, there's not like a checkbox for different things, but all things being equal. So let's say a competitor has the right amount of shape, the right amount of conditioning, the amount of symmetry is just right there. They fit the criteria perfectly. And there's these two individuals that meet all of those factors, but one has like stretch marks or crepey skin in their abdomen area versus one that has, really tight skin. Unfortunately, it does go, one of our criteria is skin tone. And so, I mean, we won't even go into the tan part of that because there's so many different things that you can be marked down for your tan. This is really just, and so much of skin health is actually internal, and we'll get into that quite a bit, but not everything is externally fixed by skin. So much of it is your internal health. And although, skin is kind of like our protection from germs, keeps our body regulation, temperature, we get our sense of touch and our sensations of hot and cold. But we can do so much for that health of our skin from the inside out. But we're going to talk about all of those. So, um, let's start with number one when it comes to health of your skin.
Okay, so number one is hydration. So this is key. Drinking enough water helps maintain skin elasticity and prevent dryness.
Yes. So we drink our gallon of water. I'm going to go for a prep tip on each of these to just kind of relate it to real life. And maybe this will resonate with some of our listeners. So in prep, when a coach is giving you the instructions to dehydrate for a show, that is going to be a wrong move. So you're going to want, it's going to affect the appearance of your skin. So if you are not well hydrated, your skin will be a little bit more saggy, especially if you've had children, if you've had major weight loss, if you're a master's competitor that has low estrogen. If you are not hydrated, your skin will not be very vibrant on
Mhm.
show day.
I love it. All right, number two, sun protection is essential. So UV rays cause premature aging, wrinkles, and increase the risk of skin cancer. Daily SPF use is crucial. And I also want to say, look at the ingredients in the sunscreen that you're using and all the products that you're using. Because yes, skin cancer can come from exposure to the sun, but I have to say this too, it can also come from the products you put on your face.
Mhm.
So why, you want to use good quality products that don't have carcinogens in them. Just pro tip.
Yeah. So my prep fact on that one is I always wear a hat no matter what. You want to really cover your face. Like you can always, I always have SPF in my makeup as well, but your skin on your face will you will look so old if you have skin exposure. So wear a hat at all times. If you want to sunbathe, especially if you're going to be in a range where those tan marks are going to show up for a show, just keep in mind that you should either wear like a bandeau so you don't have your strap lines. Even if you're wearing sunscreen, you're still going to get a tan line. So basically, you don't want any spot to be covered that wouldn't be covered by your suit on stage. So that means you basically have to wear like a thong or a scrunch butt, like exact same pro cut size when you're like sunbathing your glutes because those uneven patches, like you had mentioned in the judges' criteria, they're really hard to even out. If you're very white in your rear and you have a full butt coverage when you're sunbathing and then you go to put on show tanner, it's going to really throw off your physique. So that's my prep tip on that.
Okay, number three, diet. Diet impacts skin. Antioxidant-rich foods like berries, nuts, leafy greens help protect against damage, while sugar and processed foods can contribute to breakouts and aging.
Yeah. And so my prep tip is that when fats are low, we just have to really be aware that that's going to impact the appearance of skin. So what I'll do for athletes, especially the ones that have loose and saggy skin. So I've had two clients that have had 110-pound weight loss, 115-pound weight loss. So we have to be really strategic, not only with how we pose and pull their skin, but also with the foods that we have for them as pump up. So we have to make sure they're very hydrated. A lot of masters competitors have these issues too, since their estrogen's low. So what I'll usually give them is like a potato chip because it has some sodium, it's got a little bit of oil, grease in there, and then I make sure that they have plenty of water and that they're not taking a diuretic or anything like that, so that their skin stays full and tight.
So just pro tip, this is what they're eating right before stage. This is not what
Yes,
we're feeding them during prep
right.
because that
No,
would not
just for their
be
pump up.
good.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
mean, also being aware that their fats can't go that low, like for a long extended period of time as well, because
right.
it
And you
down
want to look
regulates
at the
their hormones.
sources too. So like for most of their prep, their fats are not coming from potato chips. Like you
Right.
guys know that listening to this.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a one time they get it like right before they're pumping up just to kind of put some, carbs and salt and fat in their system.
Love it. Okay, number four, collagen production declines with age. So after your 20s, collagen production slows, leading to thinner, less elastic skin. Vitamin C, protein, and certain supplements can help support collagen.
Yeah, so my prep tip is because you don't want to be drinking your calories when you have a low budget, make sure that you're not doing like a powdered collagen. Um, for one thing, don't take it before and after exercise. You still need a complete protein.
Mhm.
with all the nine essential amino acids. So collagen is an incomplete protein. It's great for revitalizing your connective tissue, your skin, and all of that, but it will not help develop your muscles. It's more like the ligaments and things like that and your skin. So just keep in mind that if you are taking a collagen supplement, I would recommend the 0 calorie form that typically is the pill form. It's not as fun as like the 40 calorie scoop of peppermint bark for first form. I know those are super fun, but
Oh, good.
maybe in your
Awesome,
improvement
guys. Yeah.
season, like incorporate those, but also just keep in mind that it's not a protein replacement. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. But I mean, if you are in your improvement season and you love delicious coffee and you need more calories and you have a hard time hitting your calorie goal, I don't know what that
Yep.
feels like, but hey, get some collagen.
Also, sugar-free Jello is a really good source. It's a very low calorie version of something that can kind of keep you full
Mhm.
as a snack, and it has because of the gelatin, it has a lot of collagen in it.
You
So,
can also get
sugar-free
gelatin
Jello.
packets. They're
Hmm.
right next to the Jello as well. Okay, number five, hormones affect your skin. So hormonal changes like perimenopause, check out our episode. We just did one on that. Can lead to dryness, acne, or increased sensitivity.
Hmm. Yeah. So, pro tip on this or prep fact. This can affect young competitors. It affects a lot of them because if they're taking estrogen blockers, which is an illegal PED, so hopefully those natural competitors are not doing this, but there unfortunately are a lot of people that take estrogen blockers when they're dieting down because of they want to appear more conditioned and things like that. But just remember that when you have almost zero estrogen, you're going to just be like you're in menopause. So your skin's going to be very thin. You're going to be more prone to wrinkling and your skin not looking as vibrant.
Okay. So that was like prep tip for that is just FYI, or are there things just
I'm just
like
saying, be aware of that, that
okay,
if you choose to do that, if you choose to take
that is a
PEDs
risk.
and estrogen blockers, then you're going to be like in the same boat as somebody that's in menopause. So I don't want people to just like I think a lot of people maybe won't listen to our perimenopause or our menopause episode because they're like, oh, well, I'm not in that phase of life. But you actually put yourself like with drugs in that state. So pretty much you'll feel the night sweats, you'll feel all of those hot flashes and everything. When your estrogen's low, you have the same effects as if you were in menopause or perimenopause.
Okay. Good
So
to
just to like be aware, I guess is
yeah.
more not like really a tip, but
Right, right. No, that's good. That's good. Okay, number six, sleep promotes skin repair. So during sleep, skin cells regenerate and collagen production increases. Poor sleep can lead to dullness, breakouts, and dark circles.
yeah, so the human growth hormone, it comes like with really good deep sleep. So of course, have 6 to 9 hours of sleep every, get a good sleep pattern. Make sure you're in a cool, dark room, night. If you want to wear a mask, like if you don't have room darkening shades, those are all good ideas. And then limiting your screen time an hour before bed would be helpful.
Hmm. Okay, seven, exfoliation helps, but don't overdo it. So gentle exfoliation removes dead skin cells, but too much can cause damage to the skin barrier and irritation.
Yeah. So my prep tip or fact would be that you definitely need to do an exfoliant before you get your spray tan. So a week out during peak week, at the very least, you should be using like a Get Buffed from Protan. You can use our code all caps glam girl, get 20% off of that. Um, some people make their own using a coffee scrub. I've never really tried that. But if you have more mature skin, so you're a master's competitor, you probably want to even do 2 weeks out. Um, Maybe not every day, just so that you're not getting like coarse. Like you said, don't overdo it, but try starting it with your showers 2 weeks out is my advice.
I've done a brown sugar scrub. That one's
Okay.
really nice too. I also have done honey masks. I'm a big fan of using just whole food ingredients if I
Yeah.
can. I've used some coconut oil and some jojoba oil and stuff like that. And we'll get into things that you can do on your face too. But Okay, so number 8, stress impacts skin. Chronic stress can trigger breakouts, inflammation, and premature aging due to increased cortisol levels.
Yeah, so we talked about this too last week. And again, with competitors, this is common for all age levels. It's not just perimenopause. You're not having to combat like the inflammation and the cortisol when you're in a prep. You're
Mhm.
dieting hard. Your body's under stress. Like cardio is making that a factor. And so, one factor tip, I guess, that I've just noticed over my years of coaching that some competitors will take spironolactone, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's a prescription from their doctor to help with their acne.
Mm.
And something that we've had to make sure that we eliminate because basically spironolactone is a potassium sparing ingredient or drug, and basically it reduces sodium, in other words, and then it reduces water retention. But
Okay.
because you don't want to get hyperkalemic, which means that you have too much potassium. So with those competitors, we had to be very careful about, like on my side and my scope of practice, we had to make sure we avoid potassium-rich foods like avocado, sweet potatoes, bananas. So people that are following a meal plan more need to be concerned with that. But just so you know, like that's like when we're talking about acne and face
Mhm.
stuff, that's a common prescription that a lot of females get as a prescription for acne. So I just thought I'd mention that.
That is very interesting. Okay, so then number 9, moisturization prevents water loss. So even oily skin needs hydration to maintain its protective barrier. Look for ingredients like hyaluronic acid, ceramides, and glycerin.
Yeah. So I definitely have started using hyaluronic acid. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I have it like in my face cream, and then I also have like a dropper of it. I definitely think that that's super important. Are there any skin products that you love that you use to hydrate your face or your skin in general?
I think the honey mask thing has been huge for me. I am probably the worst person to ask about skin. My number one thing that I think has helped me is that for probably 3 or 4 years, I've drank a gallon or more of water a day. So I think that's my biggest thing with skin. Cleaning up my diet, and that sounds funny because I really don't ever eat off plan, but if I clean it up in prep, my skin does clear up. And what helps it is having like 90 to 95% whole single ingredient foods. And
Yeah.
so even though I'm always sticking to my macros, in the off season or even first few months of prep, I might be like 75% whole foods and then like 25% things that come out of a package that still fit my macros, so like protein bars or, products like that. And so keeping it super whole, clean foods and then drinking a ton of water. I don't actually use a lot of products. I have a couple of like, I use like a lotion, like a face lotion, but
Mhm.
it's mostly for me to make sure that it doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it. It's really, natural. And then I have just used stuff like olive oil or jojoba oil to just moisturize, because I'm just a
Mhm.
big fan of single ingredient things. But I'm also like, I'm not going through perimenopause yet or anything like
Yeah.
that. So like,
Yeah, I just started using it once I got in perimenopause. I
right.
never used like retinol creams and hyaluronic acid. I probably should have, but I've never had dry skin like I have now, so I think it just changes. Some other causes, we'll kind of go over those. So the thinning of the skin, environmental factors, and lifestyle factors. So your intrinsic causes can be like due to your genetics or just natural aging, but other things that happen during that time are internally is you're losing collagen, your elastin
Well,
degradation happens. So elastin is reduced, and then you reduce actually your body's ability to produce the hyaluronic acid. And then you also have like those hormonal changes and the genetics that are playing a factor internally with the skin changes. And then do you want to go over the external
yeah.
causes? So lifestyle, environmental.
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about this already, but sun exposure, smoking, having a poor diet, And even this in prep, like watch like macros, like what I said, like you can be
Mhm.
hitting your macros, but still not having enough variety, not getting enough different like fruits and vegetables, minerals, all that kind of stuff. So having a poor diet, chronic dehydration, rapid weight loss, or yo-yo dieting. So up and down, up and down. Even in prep, we need to watch that.
Stretches the
Not
skin.
exactly. We're not doing super extreme preps and then super extreme off seasons. Lack of strength training. So building muscle to puff out that skin, help it feel good. Fill out high stress levels, lack of sleep or overuse of harsh skincare products. So probably things like prescriptive acne kind of stuff that would like really dry out your skin to get rid of breakouts, and then pollution and toxins, which I don't really know. If we go outside and it's in the air, I don't know how we can really prevent that. But
Well,
we're
so
moving.
some things that you have to remember though, that endocrine disruptors are and things that smell really amazing, but they actually are really bad for your skin. So you have to really be careful about the makeup that you use, like paraben free. You want to make sure that there's no endocrine disruptors in there. So like Bare Minerals, I know is a good one that doesn't have a lot of that. Things that are, scented lotions, scented perfumes, scented candles, all those things.
Body
Like,
work.
yeah, basically Bath and Body Works. No, not to throw them under the bus, but those kinds of things are things that you can control. So just be aware of those because whatever you put
Yeah.
on your face, like, and most girls wear makeup every day for almost their whole lives. So that's
Yeah.
something to be, aware of. Okay, so I know we are out of time. We have a ton of different things that we want to talk about in addition to this. So we're going to be talking microneedling, which I just recently had an experience with that. I just recently had my first Botox experience. I was a
Okay.
Botox version until my 45th birthday. And then we're going to talk about just like surgeries, red light therapy, any sort of like cool sculpting. So you can kind of look for that in our next episode if those are things that interest you. So things that specifically for bikini competitors, like those kinds of treatments, what their costs are, what time of season to do them, how much downtime, recovery. So we have these treatments very specific to competing because there are a lot of them, even like fillers and things like that. So we're going to talk about that next episode. So stay tuned. In the meantime, if you feel it in your heart, please leave us a rating or review. I know I don't ask this often, but this is the way to pay it forward. We do this, ad-free podcast and I love it. I'm so passionate about it. And if it just helps one person, I'm super stoked. So when you rate and review it, it just passes it on and promotes it to other people that might be interested in the topic. So help share the love. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate and review it. And then if you can give us any sort of feedback, we always love to hear from you. Comment in the YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, or if if you're listening to it on your favorite podcast platform, give us a shout out on Instagram at Prep Life Podcast or at Glam Girl Bikini. If you would like to apply for coaching with Lee Marie or myself, you can go to glamgirlbikini.com and hit the get started button. Thanks for listening, guys.